Yo guys, welcome back to the Fryday Podcast. I'm Big J.
I'm RJ.
And today we got a guest. No, his name ain't Ali. His name is Bilal. AKA Turbs, AKA Turbo. Thank you for coming on, Turbs.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit, the mic. So yeah, I've known Turbs since I was you. That's what I said I'm going to bring up. I don't know if you remember Wanza days.
Do you know what?
Even probably before
Wanza. I'm a Dar es Salaam boy myself, man.
No, this is the thing. It's
It's a community centre.
community centre.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just near town and that.
Do you know what it is? Like, I know you from way back in, like, when it was serious times. Like, that's when I remember the gigs, the tunes. That's what I remember, like.
You know what I used to call it? My brother used to go out every week. I used to call it Resident Raver. Do you used to go out every week?
Yeah, man.
It was a thing, though. In
Leicester, it was.
It was like a cultural thing. Like, I think, like, there was a generation of like, I think it was an Asian thing.
Yeah, we did have some really good nights.
Like, I'm talking like when I was 14, 15, and the elders used to say, yo, you can't get into a club on the weekend. Yeah?
You can't.
Simple as that.
There were queues everywhere, like Lounge One, everywhere.
You couldn't get in if you were Asian.
Yeah.
To, like,
he didn't understand, man.
Back then it was creation. Before creation, I think it was like kudos. So you go there, like, forget like just being the right colour. I think it was just a case of, like, you got to have collars on.
Yeah, this not your vibe, innit?
I remember back in the day, we used to carry shoes in the boot.
Yeah, bro.
Like, if we used to get denied, like, we used to take shoes. Like, literally, we were like, yo, go to the car, grab the shoes, man. Or one man to a girl, come on, man. Yo, find a girl, link on to a girl or something. Do you know what I mean? That's what it used to be.
Yeah. Leicester got renowned because there was such a big Asian community.
Yeah.
Right? And they used to come out every Thursday. Now, they used to go to Brannigan's, which I think now is like a shisha cafe.
I don't know what it is now.
But that used to bang like every
Thursday. Man.
Then from there, like...
did that include students or just locals?
That was students and locals.
On a Thursday as well?
Thursday, yeah.
Man.
But like, from then, I think Finesse... Remember Jets?
Yeah, Jets. He literally lives on my street. Right on my street. It's mad.
Them guys, they were doing like Saturday nights, and they were trying to bring in this sexy R&B flavor.
Yeah.
And they smashed it.
Yeah, that DMX, that Ludacris, Kanye.
In this whole cultural movement.
Yeah, it's crazy.
With R&B, hip hop that you couldn't get on a weekend.
Yeah.
And so they added that. They started doing that on Saturdays, and I remember because like, I used to go out and I used to hand out flyers in the cold and, like back then.
The proper graft, innit?
The proper graft. I wasn't handing out flyers at that point. The reason I used to bump into these guys was because, I don't know if you guys remember DJ VJ.
Yeah. Oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah?
Night shift crew.
Oh
my God, lit. Oh God,
right?
shit.
And like, we couldn't get into the clubs.
I remember that. God,
like,
that's
some jungle raves. I'm not talking drum and bass.
Yeah.
Jungle
proper
raves,
jungle, yeah.
Starlight. Guys are
Starlight.
Oh my God.
Those guys are like 13, 14 and just hearing about everything.
That's crazy.
Hearing about the bass man, Doctor, all these guys are on the mic. We want to get in, bro. We're fucking the exits. Yeah?
I remember.
It's home, innit? Home city, you can, innit, man?
We were at Starlight. We were at University of Leicester. They used to have some big raves as well.
Yeah.
And bro, we used to know the back corridors and everything, and like.
I remember you guys used to come in like a swarm.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Keep queuing up, and then they would just see this swarm of bees just hanging around.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Like literally, one man would come, next man, then 10 man.
Just there with a crowbar, pop the exit, running. Sometimes you used to get caught and get a couple of licks. It was what it was. But yeah, that's how I got to understand the scene a little bit, and I'll be honest, like it was almost like even the stuff that was getting played in the clubs, it wasn't what we were listening to. We were listening to jungle, we were listening to garage, and it was a struggle to get that. And then Finesse started incorporating that. So the Thursdays just got stronger, and I think at the turn of when Creation turned into Liquid, it was a company called Lumina, and they picked up on the fact that R&B hip hop was so big, and they tried to put it across all their Liquid and Oceana venues across the country.
Yeah, then it was like R&B nights. There was more nights like Fridays and Thursdays.
So then
Saturdays.
they started incorporating it, and that was where the start of it was, man.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, but
it kind of was like, you know, when Finesse were bringing all the big acts and you know, Finesse sort of stopped. I think it was like more of a torch sort of passing to you guys.
Yeah.
And I think obviously you guys were bringing down the acts, and I think it weren't no one bringing it down.
Yeah, it was a hard thing because like. I'll take it further back as to how I actually got.
Yeah, how did you get into that, man?
So when I was younger, like I grew up in like Northfields and St. Matthews. My mum used to live in Northfields. My dad would live in St. Matthews, and like on the weekends I'd go see him. So I think on the weekends I was around, you know, my people as such. Yeah. I think at about 14, 15, there was like an influx of my cousins that had come from Africa. They come from Kenya. And I don't think you'll know these guys because like,
I just want to say,
these
man,
guys are into the
whole
Japanese
family in
cars,
it, man.
yeah, they're into like turbo cars, cherry turbos, Pulsar GTIRs. They're into all of that, and they're just into like, you know, like now you can just get NOS, put it in a car, you know, just take it, you know, you can tweak it.
Let me just stop you there. You know these, you know that like his dad and that, you know all the old school cars, yeah. Even I didn't know this till recently. But they like told me, we used to do rallies in that back in the day, back in Africa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you never think that because now they drive these Toyota Lucides and shit like that. Back in the day,
they're still thinking they're back home. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
But
Trust me.
I have had some crazy nights in Africa.
It's like
I've
they've had another life there. You get me? Because my dad told me stories now that I never knew until I'm this age. You get me?
It is mad. It is mad. It is mad.
That you see on them, man, mad because like. They'll be tweaking with the airflow meter.
Yeah.
And like people are like looking. Like we go to the tracks and everything. People are looking and they're like, "Yo, what are these guys doing?" You know, they're manually just like pulling out a spanner and just doing things.
That's crazy.
It's working,
yeah, it's because madness, isn't it?
You could hear the turbo whistling hard, bro. They're trying to figure out how this little Nissan Cherry is just blowing everyone to pieces, bro.
You know what? Yeah, it's called boost banner. That's what we call it.
Little sleeper, innit? Little sleeper.
But these guys, so my cousins come over from Africa and like. I was in my teen years, so when I was younger, I was really quiet, well behaved or whatever. But then when they come, it was probably around the time where you know you're growing into yourself. And I was probably troubled because you know my parents were separate and they probably had like anger issues or whatever. But when people would try to bully me, it was almost like when my cousins picked up on it, they'd be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah.
And these guys, they come along and they were like, "What? Nah, we're not having that." And they were ready to row, they were ready to fight. And it helped me in a sense of, it was great that, you know, I wouldn't say I was able to stand up for myself, but I had more of a backbone. I wasn't alone.
You're more assertive, innit?
Yeah, more of a stance, do you know what I mean, against it? Yeah, I get that. I get that.
It was slightly odd because like, when I was in Northfields, I went to a school called Merrydale. And I was probably one of 10 Asians in there. Yeah. Then from there, I went to Saw Valley. And Saw Valley was a totally different mix because Saw Valley was just like 95% Asian.
It was.
And like, so I'm going from like pure, like, I wouldn't say it was pure racist, but you know, I was used to getting called a Paki.
It's a normal thing back then.
Yeah, 100%. There was.
Like, yes, some of it was probably light-hearted banter, but there was also some stuff that was said, and you could sense that that person really means.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I go to my house, going home, and you know you're going in with your mum, and you know there's some lads standing there, and they're like, yo, when you go inside your yard, there ain't gonna be nothing left in your yard, and you know, and you're actually about to step in, and you're thinking.
That's my moment.
Is there going to be anything in?
Yeah.
You're hearing that people's yards, you know, are getting robbed.
Yeah,
left, right, and centre.
But all of that, I think that was all anger. But then when I got to Saw Valley, it was different because I was now surrounded by 95% Asians, and now
the racism thing's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
That's gone.
But I was still almost like
now them and the majority.
I was still a minority.
Yeah,
I was still a minority.
Yeah.
I was a Muslim, so I was like, okay, like people would be like, I was very adaptable in the sense of I'd grown up around Sikh people, about Hindu people. I'd been to the Gurudwara, I'd been to, you know, the temple, I'd been to Sunday school because these are the people my parents.
100%.
So I'd been around all that.
And obviously Leicester's integrated
very multicultural.
So Leicester, like I was a great representation of it.
Yeah.
But then in school, you know, like sometimes it almost felt like I was overpowered. You know, some people would try bully me, and I wasn't a big lad. I'm still not a big lad. I'm not a big lad. Yeah, I was always like, you know, small and, you know, skinny, and, you know, like if somebody wanted to push me around, they could do it. But I ended up getting a chip on my shoulder because, like, on the weekends I'd go, you know, to St. Matthew's, and my dad would be like, oh, go on, like, go chill with your cousins or whatever, go play football with them. Because of the place that they'd come, they'd learn what they could get away with.
Yeah.
So, you know, now you're talking about, you know, like local bad man that are, you know, moving like, what you're saying, you know, giving it all that. And these guys are like, what's this guy saying? Bang.
Yeah.
You right?
They don't care.
Yeah, so
it's different, isn't it?
It was different.
You can't lie.
So these guys had now come in and they were like, yo, if there was any trouble, they were just there with me. So that kind of like built me a backbone.
Yeah.
But with that, I was always like out, and they were into like, you know, when you're 15, 16, you're listening to what the current music is. Then it was like garage. You know, some of my elders, you know, everybody used to grab the mic. Yeah, they're all there.
Everyone did that at one point.
You get what I'm saying? So we'd have like parties or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody would come around and chill, and, you know, by like 1, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
we're in a flat somewhere, you know, because one of the lads has got a flat, right?
Yeah.
And just be giving the keys.
Yeah, no.
Giving the keys.
Oh
yeah?
my God.
It's the first night, and you're already upstairs in the room, like,
That's
yeah,
joke. Yeah.
The neighbours across. Yeah, they're already complaining.
100% all the time.
Yeah. So from that, like, I picked up, okay, like, I enjoy this, you know, this music thing, and then you're like, yeah, give me the mic as well, innit? You know?
Give it a go.
Yeah,
go on.
It turns into that.
Why not?
You go into the raves, you're seeing everything that's happening, and like, you naturally feel like you're a part of the movement. And that was great, like garage, you know. I'm not even talking grime. Garage was a representation of what British people were. Like, they were skanking, they were bubbling. Like, that is different to dancing to R&B and hip hop.
It was different. It was different.
Different beats.
It was a workout. It was a full on workout.
Like, give me some space, because I need to
move.
rave,
100%.
So, like, with all of that, it was great, bro. So, you know, back then, picking up records from record shops. We used to go down to Too Funky. There was 5HQ.
Too Funky, man. Gosh.
We used to listen to like Total, Lombardo, Squeeze, Shady, you know, like Midlands Mafia. What were they? They were called New Breed Crew, actually. That's
back in the day,
Crazy hell, man.
Say 1 in a million. You know, it was mad, bro. And these guys used to play like, they used to do like a 10-15 minute set at Lounge One on a Friday, right? And people would go mental for them. It was crazy, man. It
was mad. It's not like that no more.
No,
it was crazy because, like, you get this bubbling track pop on, everybody's waiting for this track to come. It's like 20 minutes of the night, 10 to 20 minutes of the night is dedicated to garage music.
Yeah.
Somebody jumps on the mic and gets everybody's hands in the air, and, you know, everybody's going for
it.
Man. It was mad, man.
You had to be there, innit?
Yeah, you just had to be there for that time, man.
Imagine I was even younger, but I remember the days, man.
It was crazy, but it went from, like,
mad.
It went from garage to grime. So first it was like entertainment, which was skanking, right? And then it turned to grime, and that's where you see the change of where it was like, you know, MCs like Creed, PSG, all these guys, you know, and it turned to like the likes of like Skepta and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Because now these guys were now getting, you know, like, oh, everybody's like, you know, people could relate to what they were saying. It was in a different way.
100%.
And it was a way of like the streets letting out their anger, and, you know, even like personally, like I used to mix garage, and then grime came along, and, you know, you could feel it getting heavier and darker. At the same time, I was spending quite a bit of time in Birmingham with my family.
Wild West.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So luckily, local to me at that time was like Smokey, and like I couldn't believe it because, like, I had the record, which was 4:30 to 6:15 graveyard shift, and I used to listen to this record on repeat because there was at that point it was just London. You just hear about London,
that's all it was back in the day.
You wouldn't hear about anything else. So when there was a different sound, and that sound, I just picked up on it. It was like, wow, this sounds different. And it was Smokey, and it was Mike's man. And like these guys, I could sense that, yo, this sound is different. So when
4:30 to 6:15, are you really ready for the graveyard?
It was an anthem in Brum. So then when I'm in Brum, I've gone to a couple of raves there, and I've seen the reactions this is getting, and like, yo, like
getting nuts, innit?
Going nuts.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I was in Borstal Heath in Birmingham, and I've just bumped into this guy, and this guy turns out to be Smokey.
Yeah. Whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so then I'm like, yo, I need to bring these guys to Leicester, innit? Like, these guys are
properly.
dance,
So you know what's popping off here, innit? So you thought, bring the sound here. Why not?
So then that's what I started incorporating. Back then, like, now they call them brunches. Yeah.
R&B,
bro. You sit down, they give you,
I ain't been to
give you a couple
one.
of Doritos, sandwiches or whatever. Yeah, and they give you a glass of wine, bro. Back then,
set menu.
It was called daytimers, and that's it, bro.
Oh my
just
god!
Going to rave in the
Do you
day.
remember Jaggerons?
Do you remember that day?
Jaggerons.
I remember, bro. Oh my god!
Jaggeron was literally Jaggeron, bro.
Literally. I don't know how to explain it to people now. Like, what is a Jaggeron?
Stay up all night, rave,
bro. 10 till 6. Yeah,
raving in your sorry. That's madness.
There was one venue, it was called Club City. It's on Lee Circle.
Yeah, that's changed so many times. Rebirth, Club City.
So it was on Lee Circle, bro. Like the first, I didn't even know what it was. Everyone's talking about it. I've gone there. Bro, bright orange shirt,
No.
This time I'm not going into the back door.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I've done my hair and everything. I'm not coming out like you two got your caps and hoods on. That's how I was usually coming out. This time I've come out like, bro, gone into this Jaggeron, bro. I was there at the queue like 9:30, bro. Finished at 6. Bro, I used to live up by Northfields, bro. I'm walking up Hastings Road.
6 a.m.
Yeah, bro. 6 a.m. Like, bro, I'm getting home by like 8 a.m, bro.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Cars are driving past me going to work, and I'm just thinking, what kind of an idiot am I? But
it's the thing back then, though, isn't it?
And you know what?
Girls raving in sorries, man.
The family.
That's madness.
Radios.
Yeah.
They used to do it, and they played a role for me as well, because like when I was DJing and MCing, and they were obviously doing Jaggeron, but they were doing like a couple of daytimers and a couple of like end of year raves.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Rock and roll
nightclub at top of
yeah. I do remember these.
So like they'll be like, oh come Bilal, like why don't you jump on it? So I had this thing, I think it was called Night Riders first, and then I think it was Ace of Base, and then it was I don't know if you guys remember Odd Socks.
I remember Odd Socks.
Yeah. So I used to do a couple. I did
Trying to think
everyone,
now.
but
I remember everything he's saying.
yeah, bro, it was mad. But
you know what? Yeah, like my mind is like, I remember all this shit, but there's like a timeline in my history that I literally forgot. If you ask me, I was like, bro, I didn't even know. But before that, I can remember. That's the mad thing.
It was mad. But I think it was just a case of like, I was always forceful in what I do, in terms of I know what was needed, what was required to become successful.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of set myself a bar, which was, like, if somebody's doing 7 out of 10, I need to push for a 10 out of 10, which will get me a 7 or 8.
So you knew your output in it.
Yeah.
Basically, you just wanted.
I'm working with these people, and like, I'm doing my best. They're doing their best as well.
Yeah.
But it's only now that I look back and I'm like, I clearly had a lot more focus. I was a lot more dedicated to what I wanted to achieve. And that's where even like, let's say with Speeds, for example, like me and Speeds, we were chilling for like, 2-3 years together. And some of the stuff that we did was mind blowing for that time, because like we got on TV, we got on like the Asian network, coming from Leicester to be on Asian network, being able to go on there and just freestyle. It was a mad thing.
You not done that mixtape with Lady Envy and that?
Yeah, loads of stuff.
The CD.
For that time to do what you guys did,
it was mad.
Crazy, man,
like,
and that's difficult. It's
what
hard.
I was trying to bring in was like, what my mind was telling me was, I was looking around and I was looking at all these raves that were happening, and to be honest, you got to think of that period that I was doing all this. I didn't realize, but I was picking up experience. I was picking up research.
Yeah, 100.
You'd go
man.
down like the Diwali lights. Yeah, you'd go down the road, and you'd see posters of me and Speeds everywhere. Right?
Yeah, I remember that, man. That's
like
crazy.
We were just like conditioning people.
You were networking before networking was a thing, I think, as well. You get me?
We were like way ahead, bro, and like people would be like, yo, what are you doing? You're wasting your money, like, you know, whatever. But in my head, I was looking at us as like, yo, like, we are a representation of the Asian market. Right? So, literally. So we need to make the market understand who we are and what we are. I pushed on that, pushed on it. It was interesting. But within all of that, you know, comes all the troubles of life as well, isn't it?
But I think the good thing what you've done, it's like a word of mouth thing, because obviously you had all the posters and at Diwali time, as you said, but a lot of people that were seeing that were showing their friends outside of Leicester. So it's kind of like people will get kind of known about Leicester.
Leicester was a big hub, man, because like I'll be honest with you, Thursday nights, I think from 18 till about 30. I think like every Thursday had to be on your agenda, bro.
It's a part of life, innit?
Yeah, you could.
It was like a religious thing. Straight up.
It was bad because like now it's totally different, because now like you got phones, you know, you can chat to whoever you want on your phone.
Oh, 100%.
But it's different. Back then, it was like the only way you knew anything about that person you bumped into last week is by coming out
again,
and again, bro. It was almost like if you liked the chick, right? Bro, it would take you 3 months or 6 months. First, you got to figure out, does she even come out every week? And if she don't, you're done.
Oh yeah,
because
no, you're done
like
for.
once every 3 months.
That's it. You're done for. You're
so
done
this
for.
conversation, which now you know can take like 5 minutes. Yo, what you saying? Yeah, you want to catch up later? All of this was not existing. Right? And plus, on top of that, people are just drunk for that night. Bro, the next day they're just fully sober.
And listen, you gotta wear collars and you gotta wear shoes. You can't step out the way you wanna go or you wanna be comfortable in.
You're seen as what you've seen on that night, and that's what that person recognizes you as. Whereas now, somebody can go on your social media, you know,
exactly, 100%.
Blah blah blah. They can see everything about you. Well, they can see what you look like when you go to work. They can figure out within an hour or so, you can get a full rundown of someone, like close enough to where they live.
100%. You can.
Then, it was like everything was just like, whoa, like, who is this?
Bit by bit.
You have to take baby steps. Now it's like, bro,
the Sony Walkman. Do you know what I mean? Back in them days, Bluetooth in tunes over. That's what it was.
It was mad.
That's exactly what it was.
But yeah, like we did a lot, man. Like I think we ended up at Manchester Mellor as well, and like we were getting great responses, and it was a good time, man. It was nice.
I always wanted to ask, how did you get in touch with all the big like US artists? So how did that come about?
So okay, where I was with Speeds, I think. I'm gonna leave off. I'm gonna separate that now.
Cool.
I'm with Speeds and everything's going well and everything. But at the same time, like when I'm out on the streets, I was very troubled, man. Like I was as much as I was focused on what I wanted.
There's a lot of distractions.
I had a lot of distractions around me. I was surrounded by crime. Like I was surrounded by drugs, guns, stolen cars. I was involved in a lot of like the ringers used to get back then. Bradford, and I was surrounded by all of this. And bro, like it's only now that I look at it and I think like, if somebody has a conversation with me about this for 5 minutes, I'm like, I'll be the first one out. Back then, it was like
just don't want to be around it no
of
more.
my life was based around that. I speak to some of the people from back then. I sit down with them now, or I bump into them, and within about 5 minutes of the conversation, I'm like, I can't be in this conversation anymore. Because of the amount of negative energy that comes from it. But like, I was in a lot of that, and I'll be honest, like, we were on the side of town which was, you know, Northfield, Gypsy Lane area, Belgrave Road, Rushmede, St. Matthews. We were on this side. And, you know, I touched on Highfields, and I was lucky to touch on Highfields because I used to go mosque in the evenings, 5 till 7. So as much as like you guys, you know, 9 till 3, you're done with school. On our side, it's like you go mosque from 5 till 7. But like without realizing, I'd been to, a school where I was the minority.
Yeah.
You know, I went Merrydale, but then I've gone to a full Asian where it's, predominantly Hindu at that point. That's what Soul Valley was. But then in the evenings, I'm going to a predominantly Muslim. It was Muslim, so I'm going there. Yeah. Then I went to Regent College. Then I went to university in Birmingham. And with all of this, looking back now, I can be like confident enough to say that I understand people's cultures well enough.
Yeah, no, 100%,
so, like,
man.
When somebody's coming from Braunston and they're having a chat with me, like my mate that used to own, we were talking about Bar Serious.
Yeah.
He used to own it, and like we could get on because like, even though we're from different cultures, it was like, yo, like, you're like my bro. Because the way that he was talking to me was like, yo, you understand what I'm saying.
You treat the person how you treat him, what's in front of you, innit? That's how you see him. Yeah, 100%.
And like, when their mates would misbehave, or when my mates would, I wouldn't say my mates, my associates would, I could then relay that back to him and say to him, look, like, this is how this community works. It's a little bit different to how yours
100%.
is. So let me deal with this like this, and it played a good role, but all that stuff, the crime and everything, it was a lot. Like, bro, like them times you get stopped by the police every week.
Oh my God,
you get a producer,
man.
go show your MOT certificate and your insurance cover note.
To the police station.
Yeah, bro, from the age of like, I got my license at 17 till about 23, bro. I must have got stopped every week, bro. Yeah, without a doubt. I look back now and I'm like, why did I get stopped, bro? My car was bait. Bro.
Mazda 323.
Bro, I was driving with my seat back. Like I had my cap on, I had my hat on. Like, yo, even like stop and search was a normal thing back then, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking back then, like, yo, why are people?
Why is it us?
Yeah. Why are they always coming to me for? Like, why are we? It's us against the world. It was constantly.
We're a very angered generation. We're a very angry generation, innit?
Like, and
proper pissed off.
All of that relayed on anybody that's coming to me. So let's say somebody from Evington comes along, right?
Yeah.
And they've just heard of like, oh, Turbs, he's from over there, from them ends, he's not from this side, and what he thinks is bad, like he does a couple of raves or he hangs around with certain man, and and then you'd get into these
G-checked.
Yeah, bro, and you're just like, bro, I don't even know.
For no reason, they didn't know you. They didn't know you.
No reason.
My man thinks it's bad because he chose a graveyard. Yeah, and you're just like, it was non-stop.
And then you get tangled in it.
Yeah, bro.
You just get tangled in it.
Non-stop. And then I think I genuinely feel like I feel like I'm a good person, but I can only give you the same energy that you give me back.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I agree.
I think
with
a lot of people, when I was growing up, probably didn't understand that, so they were just giving me bad energy, bad vibes. So straight away, like if somebody's giving you that energy, your natural instinct is to look at them in a way where what. Why are you giving me the energy? Yeah, it was a big thing back then. Like, you could be walking down the street and you'd be like, "Yo, what are you looking at?" Maybe I'm not surrounded by it, but back then it was a thing. Back then, bro, if you had a nice phone, bro, that phone is getting jacked off.
Get taken.
There was no like cameras. There was no like,
Oh, let me look at your phone rapid.
Yeah, bro.
Let me make a call.
I ain't got credit. You know that one.
Hey, bro. And you know how it starts.
Yeah.
Classic one.
Go on.
You got 20p.
That's like a chat line, man.
That's the one.
Rahul says that to girl. You got 20p.
But that's what it is. You're right. It's fun.
That was the start of it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
I've seen phones get jacked for fun.
Because we were, I think, like we were thought of as lesser, and we weren't educated on that. We weren't educated. We were just like, they're bad people. Stay away from them. Or them lads look rough, so stay away from them.
Yeah.
But it was almost cool to be associated with them, to feel like, you know what, I'm good, innit?
Yeah.
Bro, like, I'd say it openly, bro. I got jacked 10 times, bro.
Yeah.
And them people that probably jack me now are probably people that, like, I speak to now, and they're like, bro, like, that was mad, innit? Like, got mad love for you, and, and now they come to me and they're like, like, I want to do this. They want some advice from me. So it's a total change.
How the world works, innit?
When you see them, when you see man's out and about, and when you see them with their kids and everything, and then it's so...
Luke Bingham.
Yeah, Bingham.
Luke Bingham, me and him didn't used to see eye to eye, bro. He was from Bimot Lees. I don't think he liked the fact that I was around the graveyard lads, and I think a lot of people got a little bit things because they're like, oh, like you know, he's got some Birmingham lads behind him or whatever. And it was a little bit shaky. It was frosty, but as time went on, and I was working for another company. It was called Insatiable. Yeah. And I heard Luke's track, and this was going back to like when I'm saying I heard Graveyard's track, and when I heard Luke's track, I was like, yo, this bangs. And then I've gone to the guys that I was working with. His name was Santi. These are the guys that do Bass Fest, Sidewinder and that now.
Yeah.
And I've gone to him and I've said, yo, like, this track is, I heard it and, yo, I think it's something. It can go. Like, I think this guy's got the sound. He's like, cool, call him. I'm like, I can't call him. The last time that...
It's like a Bloods and Crips thing.
Yeah, it literally like that. The last time
he's good, but I can't ring him. You're going to have to get some next one.
Yeah. We were outside trainee.
Yeah.
Inside there.
Oh my God.
I was thinking about that shop, you know.
Yeah.
That was that shop that had crepes that were rare and that, innit?
Rarity.
So, bro, like, I'm standing in there, I'm coming out the shop, bro. I've just been, like surrounded.
Yeah.
And Luke's there at the front. Oh, damn. Like, little old me, what am I going to do? So, like, he said a couple of things, I've said a couple of things, and I told my guy, look, yo, listen, like, we don't see eye to eye, but, like, he goes to me, he goes, you're going to have to make the call, bro. Yeah. I made the call, and now, like, me and Luke, we're like bros. Like, he got signed to, like, Universal. There was a couple of big things happening with him. It was phenomenal.
That's mad.
But on the way up to that, like I was saying, like, you know, all of this that was happening, there was a lot of bad energy around me, but at the same time, like, there was an incident that happened, and, like, I don't know if you guys remember, on Gypsy Lane, or just off Gypsy Lane, Sutton Avenue. So my house, not my house, my sister's house, it was involved in an arson attack.
What?
And my sister and my two nephews were in the house. And my sister got like 90% burn, and she had to throw one of the kids out the window. One of them just fell asleep underneath the blanket. So it was a big thing. Like, it was on the news, and
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it was huge. Like, it was on national news and everything.
Sorry, we're here, bro.
And it was to do with like probably something to do with my brother-in-law, in terms of, like, he had bad relationships with people. Yeah. You know, he was one of them that had come from Africa, and he was pretty ruthless, and, you know, he got himself into a couple of situations. Yeah. Did anybody get arrested for it? Has anybody been done for it? Nah. Nobody's been done for it. But, you know, she went to hospital. She was in coma for, I think, about 6 months. My nephews, they came and they moved in with me. So now it was me, my mom, my two nephews, and my sister who's in a coma.
Oh, right? My
and
God.
when she's coming out of hospital, she's coming to stay with us, bro. Shit got real.
Yeah, responsibilities, innit, man?
It got real.
You had to grow up quick.
I'm there thinking, like, bro, I was lucky enough that my mom, like, when I was at uni, I was sat there and I said to my mom, I was like, yo, when I sat in the lecture halls, I'm looking around and I don't feel like it's gonna do me any good. Yeah. You know, like, I don't feel like
it's gonna benefit you in any way.
I don't feel like I'm a corporate person. The people around me, they're more inclined to get the jobs. I can be smart as I really believe I am, and, you know, I could be smarter than them, but I just didn't feel like I was sitting in a room where I would get picked over them.
Yeah, no,
so I was just like, look, Mom, this is the case. She was in debt, so she was like, look, like, what if we sell this house? We can pay some of my debts. We can get a deposit together for a bigger house. So I'd done that like 2-3 years before. So I dropped out of uni. But I was still up to dodginess, but then this incident happened. So when that happened with my sister, it was a reality check. And I was like, what do I do? Because I think around the same time, 2008 is when the recession happened, the official recession. And bro, the interest rates on mortgages, they went through the roof, bro. I was paying like 800 quid a month. For then, that was a lot. Bro, my mortgage payments were up to 1,500 quid a month.
Back then?
Back then.
2008. Bro, I'm like 22, 23, probably earning, what, 200 to 300 pound a week.
I ain't gonna lie. Obviously, I was that working age kind of them times as well. It was hard, man. Even to get a job, it was hard.
It was difficult, man.
But on the same note, like when we're saying like 200 to 300 pound a week, back then you could go to Rogers and get a burger meal for £2.
Yeah. 3 for a burger.
And you're like, bro, like, I can remember there was a time, like, my dad was in St. Matthews, Isaac Way, that petrol station there, bro, it was 49.9 pence a litre. Yeah? That's how cheap it was, yeah? So I'm
the 3 bills gets you far.
Yeah? Bro, like when we used to have the turbo cars, bro, we'd go and fill up £5, yeah? Get you through the day. You get like 4 or 5 boosts out of this.
My God. Yeah, back in the day, man, it used to be so much cheaper, man.
But that really changed me. But what I try to say to people is like, that changed my perspective. Like I had to focus, and what I focused on was what I knew best. But at the same time, I was working at Alliance in Leicester. Now it's called Santander Heritage House, but underneath the flyover. Underpass, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was doing collections there. I did that for 6 months, and then they said, "Oh, I'm going to review you for 3 months." Bro, I smashed the records like for collections, and bro, the police would just roll up. "Oh, we want to speak to Bilal."
Fuck.
Your managers are asking you questions. Then I moved on from there. I think it was to Halifax. From Halifax to Phones for You, bro. I was like jumping quick. Everywhere I was going, bro. I've gone on a course for Phones for You on the induction training.
Do you know what? You know what? We just spoke about it. Literally,
where we had to go up by Stoke.
I went to London. They sent me some harsh ass training course, innit?
Bro.
Dress for Success and all that.
Yeah. 4 or 5 days.
See?
4 or 5 days have sent us there. The second day, and bro, the police have come all the way out there.
No
so
way.
I want to speak to him, but bro, it was non-stop because what they'd probably realised was how's this guy from St. Matthews, Northfields ended up in he is. With a big yard, with a mansion, with this big mortgage or whatever. And bro, they're telling me slightly, yo, like, we don't know what you're up to, but
you're up to something, and we're gonna get you.
We're gonna catch.
Bro, I'm like.
So they were just determined now.
Yeah, they were just determined, bro. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, bro, I can't even figure out what they've got me on. How many different things are going on, bro? There's phone over here, there's food moving about here and there, bro. Like, everything's moving, and I'm just like, yo, like,
everyone's on the board, everyone's on the car,
like,
nonsense.
I'm just like trying to be like, just trying to step away from everything. But then that was the point. From Phones for You, I come out and I just goes, yo, like, these guys ain't gonna leave me alone.
Yeah.
So then I just went back to basics. So I was, I think, 23, 24, and I went to Jetsy, and I said to Jetsy, I'm like, yo, bro, like, because I need a job. Because you've seen like how hard I can go on the ground or whatever, and he was open arms. He goes, "No, come around, Turbs. Like, I know you can graft or whatever. Let's crack on." So we did, and I think that was when Liquid opened. I think we bought Jagged Edge, over Neo. These guys were massive.
Was it Finesse at that time?
Finesse,
yeah.
Kano used to come regular. EZ used to come.
I remember Dizzy. What was it? You guys had Cassidy or something? I think. I remember that.
Non-stop.
Chilling that.
So I came in at that point. Like I used to go to the Thursdays before that. Even when I was in Brum, I'd still come back, and Thursday you had to be there, bro. You could not miss that.
It
was
100%.
After that point, it was like I was involved, and I went in on the ground, and I'd do the flyer distribution, get the posters out.
Did it become a career? Then that was your full time. That's you.
It turned from just being a hobby to I'm gonna do this. And I was determined to be the best at it at that point.
Yep.
But I'm also looking at it like, I want to prove to these guys that I can smash it, so I can get paid well. I want to get paid well from it. And I told the guys, I was like, look, like I need to get paid well.
Yeah.
When the incident happened with my sister, after that, I think was just after that the recession thing happened.
Yeah.
And that's when I went back to them and I said to them, look, guys, like my mortgage has gone up from 800 to 1500. I think. There was 2-3 partners. I don't think they took it as serious at that point. They were just like, you know what, he'll be fine, he'll sort it out.
He'll be sorting out.
Yeah, but at the same time, I still had other bits going on because like I was working with the guys from Gold 361.
Yeah, I remember that.
So them guys, they had a couple of bits going on, but I didn't realise like how strong the competition was between these guys. So this was Santi and Bob, and they were doing the baseline raves, the niche events.
Oh my God, those niche events, man.
Bro, like we were doing the event, it was called Download. And bro, we were doing it all over the country, and bro, these raves were sick, and they were
they were killer raves.
They were sick, bro. So on the side, I was doing that as well. But when the whole thing came about, you know, about money and everything, I think I don't think they took it as serious, and them guys had realized, the guys that were doing download, that hey, there's a deal to be had there, and they were like, look, like, yeah, we've got no problem. Like, you got cut on these particular events, and this is what your basic is. So then I had to make the move.
So you saw an opportunity and maximized on it, innit, fully.
At no point did I want to leave. And the guys, like Jet C, he's like my brother. Like we speak every couple of days. Mass, like I'm still in his building. Like, you know, my office is in there. So we're all like brothers. And at that point, it was probably very, very uncomfortable for everyone. But at the same time, all it needed was somebody to say, yo, like, don't worry, bro, we got you.
We got you, innit? We can see you struggling when you know this is what you need to start doing.
All it was I'm not even going to say the numbers, but it was a very easy fix. For the amount of money that was involved, it was a very easy fix. So I went from Finesse to then launching a brand. It was called Super Duper.
I remember that.
This is where you're talking about the pass of the tour.
Yes.
It was when we brought in Baseline into Leicester.
Everyone remembers. My age, I think everyone remembers Super Duper.
So
the grimiest raves.
So this is where, like, we brought in Jamie Duggan.
We brought in
Jack's Climax into the Bango room, and it was almost like it was
2 raves in one.
Yeah, it was like I wouldn't say that Finesse was out of date, but this new sound was coming.
I think there was a whole new crowd though, innit? There was a different crowd that wanted a different thing. I mean, the ones that wanted to go crazy, pop the side door, there was that people wanted to find a place where they can just chill and do what they wanted to do.
So that's where Super Duper took off, and we did well for
I think you saw a need in the market, man. That was it. Perfect. And bang on. At that time, it was sick.
Them guys, obviously, they were the same guys that used to own Golds and 361. So they were in line with the UK sound. Just like Jet C and Finesse boys were. They were fully in line with garage, but these boys, they were more in line with grime and bassline and mixing the two. And, you know, this is when you started hearing a mix of, you know, some of the grime artists on bassline tracks. Some of the bassline tracks now getting, you know, more of a, you know, the Triller sound started coming where they started spitting bars.
MNT and Triller and them all.
So, you know, it got very interesting. I think
there was bad raves. There was even I remember back in the day, there was garage versus bassline raves and shit.
There's some bad boy raves back in the day. There's some sick raves.
We ended up doing like a rave once. One side was Super Duper, other side was called Roadblock, and that was ACS market. It was African Caribbeans, students, and there was a guy called Cash, and he used to be part of Finesse as well. So it's interesting because like all of these teams that are put together, there's more than people know. There's different layers to it. Everybody plays their part in it, and like. We brought out like 5,000 people across 2 venues, man. Like you had the same wristband. It got you in both sides.
That was crazy.
Probably one of the biggest nights in Leicester, you know.
That was crazy.
Since then, like we did that back then, and I think somebody else did do it before. I think it was Garage Nation and something else. But this was like when I was super young. So this is way before your last time. But then since then, I've done it a few times where, you know, like New Year's Eve, Halloween. I've done a couple of big raves where we did like, you know, Liquid and Republic or
Zanzi.
Blueprint and Blueprint and Republic. That's how we done it. 5,000 people, but like it was nice because like I was in line with what was going on. Like people like you won't believe like some of the DJs that we had. Like some of the artists. Forget the DJs, bro. Like,
man, the artists.
We started off by paying Tiny Temple like 100 quid.
Seriously, is that what it was?
Skepta would come down for 200-300 quid. But I've still got Skepta's number in my phone, bro.
Oh, serious? Oh shit, that's bad.
It's absolutely crazy, but it was almost like the whole sound was, you know, it was evolving.
Literally, that's what it is.
It was a whole movement, and like we were part of it. Like Boy Better Know were getting huge.
Oh man,
So we, you know, like we were all a part of that. Like outside of London, they used to look at Leicester as a touch point that they had to come into.
100%.
So And then we used to do a lot of stuff in Sheffield, so it was naturally like...
Remember at Zanzibar, the roof caught fire, one time? That was madness, do you remember that?
The haystack,
yeah, that was crazy.
Bro, looked over and somebody lit it.
Yeah, do you remember that? Crazy. Oh my God.
Crazy, man.
But
yeah, like...
Maddest nights.
Them raves were crazy. And that I got a lot of inspiration off like people like Skepta, and that's when I was like spitting bars and that's when I probably got to my realist when I was around them lot, because that's just around the same time that the Know My Name Ain't Ali come about, Leicester All Stars, and by that time I was off it, like I was fully on just work, and like everybody was just like, yo, this guy's just on it, but I just wanted to win, bro.
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
That's the goal, innit?
Yeah, I was never happy with like, bro, if the venue capacity is 2,000, I need to hit 2,500. I'm that kind of a person that just pushes the limits.
No, fair, I get that.
I was pushing myself, but then, LJ hit me up and he was like, yo, bro, like, you want to
doing this tune and jumping on.
Drop a quick 16. I've got a couple of man from Leicester on it. And I'm like, bro, I'm not really on it, bro. Like, like, I'm out of it. And to be honest, I'd changed, my chapters had changed. There'd been a transition because the type of people that I was getting in trouble with now was not people that, that I'd grown up around and they're like, yo, what, I don't like my man. It was now people that were, they had come away because everybody had got slightly older.
You kind of built your team around you that you kind of...
I was getting pressure off people that wanted to get into a club.
Now
it's changed. You get what I'm saying? Now it's like, yo, I know you. Yo, bro, can you sort me out?
Get man in.
Yo, like, come on, man. Let man in.
Yeah, bro, non-stop. You're just there like, come on, bro. Like, I can't do nothing. Like,
that's the bad side of...
And you let one in and they get like, come on, let's go like that. Like,
yo, this is my bit. This is how I eat.
Literally.
So it was hard, but this is what I was trying to explain to LJ. I'm like, yo, bro, like, I'm not really on it, car. I've come away from that. I'm more at peace. I wasn't at total peace because I'd still get, somebody calling me up after a Thursday night on a Friday. Yo, you didn't let me in yesterday. Bro, I was inside doing tickets.
Really? No.
But, they have personal vendettas against you and you're like, you have to go and deal with them. You have to go and speak to
part of the job, innit?
Yeah, bro. Sometimes, bro, like, you're out and about, bro, and people just come up to you and you're just like, yo, like, it's not personal, innit? Like, innit? That's what it was. You were drunk. You weren't wearing the right clothes, but, just because you know me doesn't give you a sense of entitlement.
Pass.
Yeah, it doesn't give you
and they've already approached the whole thing completely incorrectly.
And you know what it is? I think people forget that when you're working on the front door of the venue, it's like you've got that respect between the promoter, the security, the management. Everybody has to be on the same page. Right? So when somebody comes, if one person says no from either of any of them places, it's a straight no.
Everyone, you can't.
You've got to have that level of respect. Because if you don't, guess what? When somebody else comes that you don't like, and that doorman says, yo, like, this guy's a pass. It does. It does, 100%. That's what the general line is. But yeah, Leicester All Stars. I said, all right, cool. I jump on it. Bro, you know where I recorded that? Not even gonna lie. In my closet, bro. I used to have a mic, like this, bro, like, and I just set it up inside the closet because you're trying to get it soundproof.
No way.
Try to soundproof it as much as possible.
Everything,
you get what I'm saying? I just went in there, spat it, and bro, like, it was the quickest thing that I ever made, bro. Quickest thing. Bro, I'm just driving about in the car and I'm just like, yo, like, no, my name is Ali, my name is Bilal, make a man halal. That sounds good. Eat man for dinner. Yeah, I was just like, yes. Yo, this is making up vibes. You know what I'm saying? Killer,
I must take man better will eat your liver.
Driving in my 323. I'm like, yeah, this is a vibe. Bro, in like 15, 20 minutes, I've got it in my head, bro. I'm not even writing it out. And I'm just there in my car.
Turban yard and like,
bro. I'm going sideways round and round.
Oh my God.
I'm going around.
Oh my God.
Get me yard. In that closet, done it, sent it, my man. Bro, he sent it back and he's like, bro, like, yo, that's the verse. I'm like, you reckon? Yeah, that's the verse. I'm like, all right, cool, bro.
Every you knew that verse, you know, I ain't gonna let him.
Imagine this. I've still just been like, yeah, it was a sick verse. I've just let it go.
Yeah.
The verse is gone. And I'm like, yo, is this track even ever gonna come out?
Yeah.
like you hear about this stuff all the time, you know, or people are getting together and they're going to do something. You know, I bet like you guys speak to people to come on the podcast and, you know, people let you down. You're just like, you know, oh, like, yeah, I'll do it. And then 6 months later, that person's just nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, it does happen. It does happen.
I was thinking the same thing, like, yo, like, got the verse, but you know, anything going to happen with it. But at the same time, that verse that I made was probably a reflection of where I was in my life, of accepting who I was.
Yeah, at that time, yeah, 100%.
Everything that I made before that was just for entertainment purposes. Yeah, was just, you know, just music for the sake of, hey, I want to be a superstar. I want to be a somebody. I want people to know who I am.
Yeah.
Whereas this was more a case of, this was the realest thing.
Someone's asking you, who are you? And
that kind of
I was clearly saying, I'm spitting bars, but I ain't Ali. Because when you looked at me, you thought my name was Ali Muhammad Abdul or whatever it is. Yeah. Bro, do you know how much like feedback I got off that? It was mad. I felt like bro, I was going into raves with, you know, performing this, and bro, this was the verse that got reloaded. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. I'm walking through town and kids are just running up to me and they're like, are you Ali? No, man, bro, I was just like, what on earth?
That's mad. That's mad.
I was already out of it by that time. I was like, yo, this.
That's
not me now.
Yeah, I'm just like,
that's not you anymore.
Yeah. So I'm showing all the love. I'm taking it all in. I'm like, yo, this is sick. This is what I always wanted. I felt complete.
But did you feel like it was a bit too late
time?
Say again?
Did you feel like it was a bit too late? Like you already like...
Yeah, but at the same time, there was a couple of other bits I'd done. Like we were doing the super duper compilation CDs that made it into Tesco, HMV, all of that. So we were doing that, and one of the things that we could do with that was because we actually put the mixtapes together, the licensing and everything, we could put our own stuff on there. So we did, and you know, a couple of the other stuff that I put on there, it was more realist to what I was, but obviously it wasn't as hard hitting. But there was one track that I did, and the chorus was Asian boy, nobody wants
Asian boy,
and that was again a reflection of me. You know, like I tried to work in certain places, and it was like the police were just following me, and you know, like it just became more realer. And at that point, I'd realized, like,
did you sometimes feel like, yo, you lot can come to my yard and chat to me there, but why do you keep coming to my workplace?
I think they probably wanted to do it on purpose, just to say, look, this is what we can do. We can find you anywhere you are.
Not even find you, like, we'll come to your employment, where then they're gonna ask you, what's going on here?
We'll ruin your shit. We'll ruin your shit.
It was non-stop like that, and like, so it was one of them things where I felt complete. I was like, I've accomplished. Musically, I felt like I had accomplished. The fact that, you know, there was
like
there wasn't just the Asian kid now. There was a black kid, there was a white kid, and they were chanting out, no, my name ain't Ali. And I used to look at Smokey, I used to look at, you know, Squeeze, Doctor, all of these MCs, Skepta is the prime example. He used to spit his bars. I used to watch, and I used to be like, yo, look at that response he's getting. Yeah, God forgive me if I bust my nine. Yeah, he used to say it, and the crowd used to go nuts. And bro, this had, I'm not gonna say to that level, but you know,
but for the level, like you get me. I know what you're talking about because I was there, bro. You can go, you know, you can just spit one bar. No, my name ain't Ali. Everyone will spit the rest of the bar.
So
it was crazy to be able to do that, and that just completely.
So can I say, at that point in time, how you saw Skepta, how you said, and that kid saw you and running up to you, did you see yourself?
At that point, if I really put my foot down, if my sister's accident hadn't happened, if I put my foot down then, I would probably be a recognized grime artist. But I just didn't want it anymore.
That changed your direction and everything.
That incident,
I get that,
would just change me, because I was like, yo, I'm looking after these two kids. Like, they don't know whether the mom's gonna make it, and I got people coming up to me like, yo, like, what are you looking at? You know, and you're just like, what? And why? Just because, you know, you spit bars. You know, just because, you know, your mates know somebody else that doesn't like me or whatever, you know, it's on, and you're just like, oh, come on, man. Like, and I've just been like, nah, you know what? I don't want to deal with that. But on the same note, I was getting grief from, you know, from doing the events or whatever, but I had a team. I had a team. And, you know, morally, as long as everything was correct, they'd stand up for you, you know. Like, forget the door team. Like, the door team is a separate entity to the promoters. To the venue,
so you kind of felt protected a little bit.
So the guys I get that. Me, they, you know, they had their arm around me and they were like, yo, like, you're good, bro. Like, like, we've got you. Don't let these guys stress you out or whatever. And I was young, so I was learning, bro.
Yeah.
But then you grow from that as well. And, you know, we got through Super Duper. And then there was another change because the market changed again, and the market changed because somebody came along and bought Zanzibar. Zanzibar was the Republic, so there was a whole load of, you know, change again in terms of what's going on in the city.
What's more popping, what's not.
Yeah. So you're talking
100%.
Like, is it going to be Super Duper? Is Finesse coming back? You know, are the American artists going to do the job over
this side or this side? Yeah,
you know, all of this kind of stuff. So all of that started happening. So then eventually, like, naturally, we'd always get like approached by agents, like, oh, like, bro, like, we got these artists, but we were always coming away from the American stuff. The American stuff, bro, it costs like starting from 5, 6, 7 grand, could go up to like 30, 40.
Do you know what? I had some silly requests DMX had when they brought him down. Some silly requests.
So you got to think, like, so we were dealing with artists that were on the lower scale. They were coming up, and sometimes you had to pay big money. Like Kano, I can remember, was 6, 7 grand on a regular basis. But like, it wasn't American money, so it was just, you know, that exchange was coming. But then we were like, right, let's look into the
UK again.
Let's look into the Americans.
Oh,
let's start looking again. So we started like, they picked up on me because I'd be around the country, you know. They'd be like, oh, Telbs, we got this, we got that. So then you speak to them, and I think we went through a run where we bought Sarani, we bought Egyptian.
I remember that.
Amarian, and that was the start of it. Tiger.
He did the migraine skank, I remember.
Yeah. So we started bringing all these over, and because of the way that I was working, like I said, I was very focused on what I was doing, and that's why we were getting the numbers. But these agents had picked up on it, and there was a company, it was called Live Bass, and Live Bass, the guy is actually from Bedford, and he'd brought Bow Wow and Tiger over, and then he just seen the way I worked, and he was like, oh, would you mind like working with me?
Yeah.
Become a part of what we're doing and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, cool. Like, and he was looking for a strong team himself. It was a very small team. I think there was only 2 of them. And a couple of people that he had, you know, it didn't work out with them. So he goes,
jump in.
I've got these artists coming over.
Seeing what you can do.
You can do the shows, and you can sell the shows.
Okay.
And you go on tour with the artists.
No, what?
I mean,
why not? All
right, cool.
I'm game.
Yeah, they're like, oh, for every day you're with the artist, you'll get a fee.
Yeah.
You're a tour manager.
New job title.
I'm down.
So, bro, like, it just started. Bro, Tiger's come over. Yeah, he's with me for about 2 weeks. Bro, they're like recording inside the, what's it called, in the hotel room. Bro, these guys are working.
These
guys
grafting.
Yeah, they're constantly working.
They're given deadlines, yeah. Bro, them 2 weeks that we were in the hotel, yeah, everywhere we went, even when we finished the night, we'd get back at like 3, 4 a.m. Bro, get straight back in that room, in that studio, working.
Yeah.
To the point where, even when we're going out to get food and we say, yo, Tiger, you want to eat here? I can remember going to a Nando's, right? And the security, he's let Tiger go out, he's put him down and everything. He's told us all to wait in the van.
Yeah.
We're waiting in the van, he's come back in. And bro, this was my fault. And he's just shouted at everyone. He didn't shout at me, but he just shouted out. He's like, he's been working non-stop for like 7 days, recording when we finished. Yeah, you lot asked me if we're going out to eat. We just need to get him his food and get him in his room. Bro, I was just like, damn, this is my fault. Bro, this guy.
That's mad though, man.
This guy's... right now, Chris Brown, he's Chris Brown security. And
oh, fucking hell.
About 10, 15 minutes later, like when we're in the restaurant eating and everything, I've gone to him, I'm like, bro, that was my fault, my bad. He's grabbing me, he goes, that weren't aimed at you, bro. He goes, you're my guy. I used to get him to smoke on the side, innit?
Oh, see.
But what it was there was a big team, and bro, like, sometimes them traveling parties can be from 5 people up to like 15, 20 people. You think like, okay, the artist may be cool, security might be cool, but bro, another 10 guys can be assholes. Yeah. And you gotta remember, like, these guys, like, they've just come over, they're just like, bro, like, oh, so where we eating? And bro, when you say where we eating, bro, if there's all of you guys sat here, you say where we eating, you guys have come from America, so you guys are expecting me to have the answer, not only for where we eating, but who's paying for the food.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. So, like, all of this has to be arranged from before.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to have this all documented. You have to sit down at the start of the tour and be like, okay, look, this is what the agreements are. Is this right? Is this not right? And if it's not right, you know, we can have it out, whatever. And like, that's when I started learning more, and that's how I started getting on with the artists. And yeah, man, it was.
Who was the most difficult artist you had to deal with?
Difficult. It's an odd one because it's a small one, as in my eyes, right?
Okay.
I think Montel Jordan.
Yeah.
And just the attitude, but I don't know if it was just his attitude. Maybe it was a team around him, but like they've come, and I think there was a young lady there who had done a London show with him or whatever, so I think she was over involved. And I think she felt like she could communicate with me when I should have just ruled her out of the conversation. A little bit like, even to the point of where we were in the club and, you know, it was time for the bottles to come out, and like the bottles were about to come out, and she was trying to tell me, oh, you need to bring the bottle out. And I'm like, nah, like...
Wait, who are you talking to? Like, who are you? What's your name?
And you know, it gets difficult.
Montel's thirsty. Get the bottle out,
you know what I mean?
Like, come on, man. Like, tell me to a bottle.
Yeah.
But, nah, like, that was difficult. It gets difficult when you're traveling, bro, because people are on different time zones.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Bro, like, you're traveling through Europe. I've traveled through Europe with, I don't know if you guys remember August Alsina.
Oh, yeah.
Les Twins, they're the 2 dancers that are directly behind Beyonce.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're hard work. They're sick, amazing guys.
Yeah.
Bro.
Very demanding.
No, I wouldn't say demanding, but they argue with each other all the time, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, they've spent all their lives together, yeah?
They proper argue there,
yeah. Like, bro, 70% of the time they're speaking in French. What does French sound like to us guys, bro? Bro, not just like sitting there, bro. Like,
it sounds fully baffling. Yeah.
These are like standing up, chucking things at each other. Bro, mad. But
that's crazy.
It was all fun and games, man. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Like, I think it was an important part of my journey because I got to understand, like, how, you know,
everything works.
Things work, and how you need to communicate with management. And then, as I think naturally, Live Bass just became more renowned. I think Live Bass got the contract for Drake coming over. I ended up doing him in Birmingham and in Leicester. Like, and overall, I've done him like 4 times. I've done him in Leicester, Birmingham, and Manchester.
Is he the biggest and most sought after? You know?
Yeah.
What was the longest you was on tour?
Longest about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks on tour,
yeah. But like everybody thinks it's like, you know, glam and everything, but
it's hard work, isn't it?
You gotta keep everyone in check, innit, man? It's long.
Everyone in check. You are like the parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like a school trip, isn't it? In other words, like that's fucked.
And like, what, bro? Like, there were times where you'd wake up. Like when you're traveling through Europe, you can't even remember which country you're in.
Yeah. That's mad.
Bro, like I'm waking up.
That's mad.
Like, your sleeping time is not normal because you finish the show at 3-4 a.m. Bro, you're leaving out at 6-7 a.m. You might not get to the next hotel till 6-7 p.m. But at the same time, you need to eat. You've got PR stuff to do. Like you know, like
your mind needs to be on it fully. Yeah, you need to be on it.
You have to have all the answers continuously. And every city you go to is a different set of promoters. Different set of promoters means different set of challenges.
Different set of people you got to deal with.
Different languages.
It's the smallest thing, bro. Like
venue check, sound checks, all of that.
All of that.
Yeah, man, that's long.
You ask for a simple thing like you might hear with celebs, you know, a Mercedes Viano.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a Mercedes Viano, or it seems that all the celebs are in a Mercedes Viano. That's because it's a generic good vehicle to transport.
Spacious.
Yeah. Okay. And then, you know, you get somebody hitting you up, you know, you're about to hit Paris, you've just left London, you're moving, and they're like, oh, I couldn't get hold of a Viano. Nah, it needs to be a Viano, bro. Yeah, but I got something similar. They've got like a VW version or whatever. You're like, bro.
It won't do.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Or, you know, you've got the flamboyant promoter who says, yeah, bro, I've got a Lambo, yeah? Yeah, bro, we're not on that. Yeah? We just need to get in the van discreetly and get to the hotel. Bro, we haven't slept. Yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah, my mate's got an SUV. No, bro. I just need 2 basic Mercedes Vianos, please, yeah? And that's where it starts, bro. Soon as that conversation starts, that's not sorted, you just know that full day
is done.
Gonna be a headache.
Long day.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
My boy's sister's boyfriend to get a picture. Come on, bro.
Innit? Like, why even asking that? Like, come on.
These are long-winded, you know, things, but yeah, man, it was interesting. But within all of that, built up experience,
learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. At the same time, like while I was traveling with all these artists and everything, I was picking up vital experience, man. And then I think I probably got, I wouldn't say I got a little bit too big for my boots, because that was happening. We were running Thursdays at Liquid. At that time, I think we changed the name from Super Duper to Franchise because we were waiting for Republic to open. Bow Wow had been done, and I don't think Finesse took off on Thursdays at Republic. So there was a quiet period, and the guys told me, they were like, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a nightclub called Life.
Yeah, well, is that next to Sainsbury's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that.
So
I remember.
The guys I was working for, they goes Insatiable Music. They said, we've got Life now. We need to put our Thursdays in there, or Fridays, or whatever. And I was just like, nah, like
it's not gonna work there.
My market won't come there.
Yeah, that side of town is a different side of town,
man.
My market isn't gonna come to Life, because Life is not that music.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know, like, it might have been indirectly to be like, well, there you go, start again.
Yeah.
But I was working for them. I wasn't generally a partner. And then there was also a couple of other things, like with Luke, there was some contracts going on. There was a lot going on that I hadn't had control over, and I was probably too young and naive to understand how involved I needed to be. I was generally supposed to be Luke's manager, day-to-day manager, but then they kind of like outcasted me. They put me in certain places, then took me out, and contracts got signed, and I wasn't in the contracts, and there was some big payouts. So yeah, I was kind of like feeling away, and I could sense all of this happening.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So when I said, yo, that was not going to work for me, they're like, oh, well, we don't have anything for you then. You know when somebody's that quick to say,
that's it.
Yeah, but realistically, they knew that for the next 3 to 4 months, there was no work.
Yeah.
Over the summer, it's always hard. Students go away, right? So they knew. So it was almost like, but I was kind of hurt at that time, because I was like, these guys know about my background.
Yeah, they know what I can do.
They know what my situation is at Yard, you know. So then,
we kind of felt type of way, 100%. You would.
But you would, didn't
you would, 100%. Yeah, you would, 100%.
I was down, and like I was like, how am I going to do this? And then I actually bumped into Goran. Goran was then the owner of Bar Sirius.
Oh, yeah.
And he just got given, I think it was unleashed to somebody else, and then
G. You know about G, innit?
G, it got handed over to, so it was G's father's contract, but they had leased it out to someone else, but then it landed back on G for whatever reasons. But he wasn't ready to be a bar owner yet. He was just like, oh, maybe in 4 or 5 years' time. So he wasn't ready. So he just said to me, because bro, like, yeah, I could do better with, you know, Bar Sirius or whatever. If you can help me make it better, let's work on it. And he mentioned this, like, I think when I was still working for them guys, and then it actually happened. So then I went to him and I said, okay, look, I'll get it up and running for you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Next chapter.
It was the next chapter, yeah.
I was probably driving around in a Toyota Carina. Is it Carina?
Carina, man. Yeah. Oh, I ain't had one of them in ages.
Wouldn't even go up and down. It's just stuck. If somebody brings the window down, it gets stuck. Yeah.
Could shout him, man. Yo, don't press that. Don't press that.
Don't park the car there. Yeah.
For fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, it was
one of them ones, didn't it?
Like, I was like, damn, I'm starting from zero, and I've gone from filling, like 2,500, 3,000 people to looking after a venue.
Max capacity 100, 150.
Yeah, bro. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, wow. But we started, and I was like, no, we've got to make a start.
Yeah.
G stuck to his word, gave me the deal that he gave me, and yeah, we started, and I got the Saturday up. We started filling it. That time there was Chili White, and the people from Chili White, they used to go to Fat Cats.
Mars on the strip.
Jadi Biladi.
Yeah. So Chili Whites that time it was doing well. Like I was doing Fridays at Chili Whites with them also. Yeah, when I was with them. But yeah, I think there was a change of managers at Chili White.
Yeah.
The manager that was originally there, he didn't really like us. So you know what he actually did, and this is how dirty the game is. So he knew that he was leaving. He made us put in Leicester All Stars PA to make the night look grimy.
Yeah.
Told the area manager to come in for that night.
So it looks grimy.
Yeah.
So that's what he sees.
Yeah, like
this is how it is.
This is what it is.
No way.
But he'd already handed in his notice and everything. So then that's how all of the
that's how it works,
yeah,
isn't it?
That's how it works. So the seeds were set in place, and we don't even know what's going on, and that was the start of that insatiable relationship going a bit, because they might have been like, oh, like what's he gonna do? We can do live, or that's it. But yeah, so serious. I then started attacking Chili White.
Yeah, that was the spot.
I had something against them.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, these guys took my Friday away, and like the guys, my ex-employers, they're telling me to do a Friday at Live. Yo, this ain't right. Like, so I'm like, I've gone back to my zone. I'm focused. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do this. Insatiable, they actually got the Friday back, right?
Yeah.
They got the Friday back, and in the meantime, within the midst of all this, I'm still getting offered the artists. Bro, I got offered J. Cole early.
Early, yeah.
My God,
This because of the contracts you had from back in the day, yeah?
Yes. It was a Saturday night, bro, and the Saturdays at Chili White were struggling, yeah? I got offered J. Cole on a Saturday night in July, and went to the manager. It was a female manager. Her name was Kim. She was from Australia, and she just said, I'm not working with you, full stop.
It's not an option.
Yeah, not an option. I was just like, whoa. But then she started working with my ex-employers on the Fridays. So I was just like, she's got something against me.
Yeah.
So I started going harder on the Fridays. Harder, bro.
Yeah.
The Fridays are crumbling now. Saturdays are crumbling. Saturdays, people are not willing to pay to go into Chili White because they can get into free to Fat Cats.
The queue for Fat Cats was ridiculous.
And this was the time that it was building, and it was almost like I was reinforcing it because I was out there on the streets.
Was that more motivation as well? That all this shit that could have happened didn't happen.
Pumping you up in it, right?
Bro, I was pumped, and because you got to think like all of this stuff from my past experience in life, where people have like wound me up and things have happened. Things with my sister, the police. All of this stuff was almost like everybody had poked and prodded me.
Yeah, you couldn't do much about it then, but now you can.
But this time now, I was doing it in a way where I was letting off my steam, but in a business way. Yeah. And it was working.
Yeah, it was
working. And then, so they didn't do J. Cole. I ran off. And then J. Cole come back around again, spoke to the owner at Republic, and it was all right, cool, because I think the Finesse guys had put a couple of American artists in, but they weren't doing the numbers. So there was a connect I had in Birmingham who's been doing events for years. He used to do the Works on Broad Street, and he's a legend. Milton, his name is. Sonic Attractions. He does Bangor raves as well. So he's a legend in the game, and he said, "Yeah, come." He goes, let's run with this. Like, I'm happy to run with you on it.
Yeah.
So we did it, and we brought J. Cole to Republic, and we did like 2,500 people. That was the first time.
That's crazy, man.
With money, where I felt like,
this is me.
This is me for the next 6 months.
Yeah,
I'm good. Yeah, because I've gone from like 250 pounds a week to having a nice lump.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like for the camera, it's not 40, 50 grand. Yeah. It was enough. Yeah, when you're earning 250 quid a week,
and you get a lump.
You get a lump that's gonna last you 4 or 5 months.
You're nice.
You have an artist, that you had performing at Club Republic that could sell at a Super Bowl now.
Yeah, bro, it was mad.
When you think about it, you could sell at a Super Bowl right now.
When we had J. Cole, he was
that's mad.
Prime.
Yeah,
he was just breaking through. Yeah, like everybody wanted.
Cold World. That's when it was like, oh my god, the first album.
It was crazy.
Early J. Cole was something else.
And they actually rang me, my ex-employers.
You want to come back?
No, so as soon as it went out, and them times it was different because it would go up on Facebook. Yeah. You'd create a Facebook event, everybody would start clicking in. Invite your friends or whatever. That's how you
attending.
Are you attending this event?
Yes, right. And you could see from the stats. And I can remember I didn't put it up on my own Facebook. What I did was I was being strategic.
Yeah.
I got everybody else to do it.
Yeah.
I just sat back.
It was circling like that. It was circling like a virus at that time.
Yeah, it went viral. Within an hour, he rang, and my response was almost like, he's actually said to me, he goes, "What? You're not involved?" I go, "Yeah, I'm involved." He goes, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see you post it though, bro.
Yeah.
So like,
that's mad.
Is there a cut of the pie? I goes, "Nah." I goes,
"This is my pie."
Yeah,
this is my pie.
That's crazy.
I give you a shout.
Yeah.
Bro, that was it then.
Yeah.
After that, it was almost like the artists were just getting thrown at me.
Yeah.
Because now I had delivered.
That's it.
And then it just got to a point where like even broken relationships around the UK, where the agents were struggling with certain promoters because of the way that they were behaving, or whatever it was like, yo, Tubbs is the answer.
Holla Tubbs.
Yeah, like shout in. But with that as well, bro, like you come with a whole load of stress. Like I can't just go to Birmingham, Manchester, London and just say, yo, yeah, I'm doing Drake or J. Cole and just be like, yeah, like everybody's gonna accept it. It's like me coming to, going to another hood and being like, yeah, I'm just coming.
I'm taking over.
Yeah,
this is mine now.
Then by that time, I think I was at a place where I was away from the front door, so I had come away from the stress from
face to face.
Teenage wars.
Yeah.
Street wars where people are just kicking off because of who you are.
Yeah.
From that to
not who you are, who your company is.
Then it was, you're on the front door, you're not letting man in. You can get it sorted. You're a dickhead, car. I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now it's come away from all of that because now the people are getting older. So I'm like a little bit older now, so people don't know me as much. You guys knew me because you were in that generation that seen me build up. But the generation that's coming next, they don't know who I am. But the stress that I'm getting now, bro, is different, bro. It's like, bro, when you go into another city, you're dealing with other promoters that are like you.
Yeah.
Probably not been in the same struggle, but bro, you don't know who these people are, bro. You're dealing with club owners, you're dealing with other promoters, you're dealing with security, bro. You're dealing with like,
and all out of towners as well.
Bro, you don't know if a promoter is a gangster, is a drug dealer. You don't know who is who, what is what. Bro, you just get random people calling you, bro. Like, yeah, bro.
I think the most important thing is you gotta speak to people the way you want to be spoken to.
That's what it was.
That's it. If you do that, then you're all right.
Get far in life, innit?
That 100%, man.
I think my character reflected on that.
Yeah.
Because I was able to get into these places and deliver the shows and, like, get the agreements done. The uncomfortable conversations, like, bro, like, there's serious man out there.
100%, man. Yeah.
Leicester has, a couple, but bro, not to the level that these big cities.
Oh no, 100, man.
You have to build on these relationships. Certain places you have to get certain people involved or whatever, bro.
It's part of the game, innit?
Bro, you're bringing Rick Ross in his prime.
Yeah,
that's mad, isn't it? When you think
bro,
of it,
like the local hood wants to come out.
Yeah,
and they don't want to pay.
They just want to be a part of it,
They don't know whose rave it is. Imagine that. There's 40, 50 man that are coming from, for example, from Highfields.
Yeah.
let's say, you know, back in the day it was Darga. If they want to come in and they don't know who the promoter is,
they're coming in.
Yeah, when they were shooting at that Pretty Ricky thing in Loughborough, right?
And you know
that
what?
That was mad, man.
I'm gonna have to cut it a bit short because we've gone way over, and we're gonna have to do a part 2 because we didn't even get down to the halal food. We didn't even talk about that yet.
No way! Oh my god, so that's mad.
Bilal, we're gonna have to get a part 2.
We're gonna have to do a part 2, 100%. Now. He's good though. Yo, man, that was a bad boy conversation, man.
It's not finished. We got part 2.
I know, 100%.
Well, I need to get sponsors. I hate reading none. So yo, big up the sponsors: RS Glass and Glazing Limited. Any glass needs, get at them. Mama's Kitchen. Each and every week, In Brief Designs. So breathe in 1, 2, 3. Big up In Brief Designs, and he's got another company as well. I'm gonna plug that on the Insta. Big up Flexi Car Hire, and big up Pyro too. This week we've got a couple of dunks. Christmas season is upon us.
Yeah, that's
so
it, 100%.
If you need any presents and you can't see the trainers, all of these man and they'll source it for you.
100%.
You can source one of these as well.
Yeah.
$24.99.
I know, they're fire though. I like them. Comfortable.
But yeah, it's a wrap, man.
That's it.
Yo,
done.